The Irishman, the Stamp Act, and Watergate are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Date. Today's date is November 1st, 2022. It is the 305th day of the year. You got 60 days left. It is the 44th Tuesday in the 44th week and the 41st day of fall. 50 days left until winter. That doesn't seem right. 50 days until winter? If today's your birthday, your birthstone is a topaz. Today is Prime Meridian Day. On November 1st, Prime Meridian Day celebrates the imaginary line that divides Earth into the eastern and western hemisphere. It's also a time to learn about the Prime Meridian. You've probably looked at a map or a globe and seen those lines. Well, that's what it's all about. It's all about finding a location on a map. That's what they are designed for. And actually, the first person to use them was a Greek astronomer named Hipparchus. And that was a long time ago. The dude died in 120 BC. Along with making travel easier, the Prime Meridian serves a few other purposes. For instance, every country and region measures its time zones according to the Coordinated Universal Time. There are a total of 24 time zones in the world. When you go east from the international date line, you subtract a day. All right, let's see what else November 1st has given us. 1683, the British Crown Colony of New York is subdivided into 12 counties. 1765, the British Parliament enacts the Stamp Act on the 13 colonies in order to help pay for the British military operations in North America. British Parliament passed the Stamp Act to help replenish their finances after the costly 7-year war with France. Part of the revenue from the Stamp Act would be used to maintain several regiments of British soldiers in North America to maintain peace between the locals and the real locals, the Native Americans. You see, a lot of the Native Americans weren't too keen on the colonists moving into their land. The act got the colonists pretty upset, and it resulted in violent protests in the colonies. And the colonists argued that there should be no taxation without representation, and that it went against the British Constitution to be forced to pay a tax to which they had not agreed to through representation in Parliament. In a nutshell, the British had laws that said all taxes should be given their day in court. They shouldn't just be put on people without any discussion. Some of the colonists felt that it was breaking the British law, and some of the other colonists thought, we're not even British citizens anymore. That's how they saw themselves. Why are we paying tax to these clowns? This became such a big deal that it was put in our own constitution years later. No taxation without representation. 1800, John Adams becomes the first president of the United States to live in the executive mansion, later named the White House. 1870, the United States Weather Bureau, later named the National Weather Service, makes its first official meteorological forecast. 1870, wow, I didn't know they'd been around that long. 1897, the first Library of Congress building opens its doors to the public. The library had previously been housed at the Congressional Reading Room in the U.S. Capitol. 1950, two Puerto Rican nationalists attempt to assassinate U.S. President Harry S. Truman at the Blair House. 1951, Operation Buster Jangle. 6,500 United States Army soldiers are exposed to Dark Rock atomic explosion in Nevada. Participation is not voluntary. 1957, the Mackinac Bridge, the world's longest suspension bridge between anchorages at the time, opens to traffic connecting Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas. 1968, the Motion Picture Association of America's film rating system is officially introduced, originating with the ratings G, M, R, and X. 1973, the Watergate scandal. Leon Jaworski is appointed as the new Watergate special prosecutor. Movies released on November 1st, 2019, The Irishman. This was a Netflix movie and it was outstanding. This is a Martin Scorsese movie in which a hitman recalls his possible involvement with the slaying of Jimmy Hoffa. This was a really interesting movie for a lot of different reasons. Number one, for a movie that had limited theatrical release and then it went straight to Netflix, it had a lot of stars. First of all, Scorsese directs it. Robert De Niro's in it, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Ray Romano, Anna Paquin, Harvey Keitel, and a whole bunch of other people. The film used CGI in order to make its older actors look younger, because this went way back to like the beginning of these guys meeting each other in the late 40s. And it was really well done. I was watching the movie and I was kind of surprised how young they made these guys look. It's still on Netflix, and if you ever get a chance, I'd suggest watching it. Born on November 1st, 1960, Tim Cook, business executive who took over as CEO of Apple in August of 2011, having previously been the company's COO. scandal. He came out as gay in 2014 and is the first Fortune 500 chief executive to do so. He graduated with an MBA from Duke University, rising through the executive positions at IBM before joining Apple in 1998. He was the highest paid CEO in the world in 2012, with a compensation package totaling $378 million. He was Financial Times Person of the Year in 2014. He took over as Apple's CEO following the resignation of Steve Jobs, who died 6 weeks later. Died on November 1st, 2015, we lost Fred Thompson, successful Law and Order actor who went on to serve as a U.S. Senator from 1994 to 2003. He earned a law degree from Vanderbilt in 1967. He played Arthur Branch on Law & Order Special Victims Unit in Law & Order Criminal Intent. He was in movies too where he played like a politician, and he was a politician, so it was really strange. You'd see him doing something on the news that in his political roles as a senator, and then you're like, wait, isn't that guy an actor? On the morning of November 1st, 2015, Thompson died at the age of 73 from a reoccurrence of his lymphoma. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.